Hey, I want to continue talking about the CAGED method. Just in review, the first installment talked about the 5 shapes, C, A, G, E, D, and those are the 5 shapes that make up the CAGED method. If you'll notice, it spells the word CAGED. If I were to take the C chord and continue to go up the neck and play C chords up and down the neck, the shapes that I would need to use to make those chords would spell out the word CAGED. So for example, C, and then the next shape is an A shape, but it's a C chord. The next shape is a G chord, G shape, but it's a C chord also. This is still C. That's C, and it looks like an E chord. And this is C, but it looks like a D chord. And if we keep going, we can go, here's another C chord. It goes full circle. Okay. And so for example, if I was playing the key E, the shape after E in the word CAGED, E, D, here's your next E chord. And then if you loop around, after D would be C, and then A, and then G, E, D, C, etc. Okay, so that's a method you can use to help find a lot of chords on the neck, and also to find neighborhoods to play shapes and scales in. Every shape has scales laying on top of it, weaving around it, licks that you might go, oh, every time I think of the C shape, I think of this certain lick or something, and it can help you remember those licks that you want to remember for soloing. Okay, last time we talked about the A shape, okay, in the C chord, which was at the 3rd fret, and I showed you all the scales, or a bunch of scales in there. I showed you the major, minor, pentatonics, a blues, a diatonic, and I think I showed you a major scale and a Mixolydian scale. Now we're going to talk about the next shape up after A in the word CAGED would be G. So the next shape would be this G shape. It's a C chord, but it actually looks like a G chord. And the frets on it are 8th, 7th, 5th, 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 7th, or 8th at the top. Okay? 8, 7, 5, 5, 5, 8. All right? Now, it's not particularly comfortable to play, but the cool thing about this 6-note chord is that it is half of the notes you need for your pentatonic scale. There's 2 notes per string, so that's 2 times 6 is 12, so 12, this is half of them. So the major pentatonic lays like this on it. Here's the C, okay? Then C, D, E, G, A, C, D. And most of you guys know this one. Okay, that's a pretty common one. Now I can add one note to that one. I can play the E flat in there here on the 6th fret of the 5th string and also on the 8th fret of the 3rd string, and create kind of a bluesy sounding, or a little bit more bluesy of a scale. Okay, and so that's another scale. Now the minor pentatonic would be C, E flat, F, G, B flat. Okay, sounds like this. Okay, that one is could be played here at the 8th fret, and you can go down to the 7th or 6th fret to get that B flat back to 8th, and then you get the E flat at the 6th fret, then the 8th fret, 5, 8, 5, 8, 6, 8, 6, 8. So it would be 6, 8, 6, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8, 6, 8, 6, 8. And the blues notes can be found here. Okay. So we got a blues scale, we get that. So we can amend that by saying 6, 8, 6, 8, 9, 5, 8, 5, 8, 6, 7, 8, 6, 8. Okay, so that lays right there. So that's 4 scales right there. Okay, the major pentatonic, the minor pentatonic, and then adding those little extra blues notes in there. The major scale could be played starting on the C here, the 8th fret of the 6th string, and then so 8, 5, or so C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, B. In this position, it would be 8, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 9, 8, and you keep going. It could be 7, 5, 6, 8, 5, 7, 8. Or you can go down here. You can go down to the 4th fret of the G string to get the B note. Okay. And you can also go back and forth between that and maybe the blues scale or the minor pentatonic. Okay, we can also take take that B down to B flat and create a Mixolydian scale. So it would be C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C. Okay, and maybe watch the video series I've started on modes, so you can kind of get up to speed on what I'm talking about with the Mixolydian scale. So. Now I have that other scale we went before. Down in this shape, and then I'm going to go up to the next one. But almost difficult to sit in one position. I want to kind of slip and slide all around. That's kind of my nature. So there you go. That's some of the scales in the G shape of the C chord at the 5th fret. Okay, hopefully this is helpful, and we're going to do the next position up. The E shape is going to be the next one. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.